Hey there, it's the Level Designer, and my name is Jeremy Cavender, and if this is your first time watching, I want to welcome you to my channel, where I do level design and stuff like that. So, this has been a series where I've been making a Horizon multiplayer map with an Unreal Engine 5, and last episode, we basically went through something called the 13-second rule, 10-second rule. It doesn't really matter, but kind of what we did was we played around with this concept where there's different points of interest on the map, and we want to try to make kind of a system where between each different point of interest, it takes the player around 10-12 seconds to get to a point, and then maybe a little bit longer for a bigger activity. And this is something that Luke Stevens, I believe, let me just look his channel up just to make sure I got the right name, because for some reason I wanted to call him Luke. It's either Luke Evans or Luke Stevens. No, Luke Stevens I think is what his name is. Yeah. It's Luke Stevens. But anyway, Luke Stevens, I don't know if I put the video in the description for the last episode, but I can for this episode. But he basically went through Hogwarts Legacy, and he followed along with this rule that CD Projekt Red kind of set forth for The Witcher 3, where, they came up with this concept where, they wanted to keep things relatively organized as far as the layout of the map goes. So what we did was we played Horizon Forbidden West last episode, and I streamed it to my computer, and we pretty much timed, the point at which, the player goes from one point to the next. And that's something that I wanted to kind of nail down as far as, a time went. So that's what we did. And we kind of came up with this beginning area right here. And that's what you see right here is we have, this awesome Thunderjaw. I'll turn down the speed so I can kind of go around a little bit more slower. We have this awesome Thunderjaw here that is going to be a bigger event, and then we have some areas where we can play around with points of interest. So that's kind of what we did last episode, and this episode I wanted to do something a little bit more different. So I've been having issues for a while with the landscape that I built for this island, and I've been trying to play around with it today, and I keep just running into issues messing with the landscape. So I might make a separate video of that later, just kind of going over the kind of what I've learned building a landscape like this. But one of the things that I did do was that there's a hole here before. I moved that hole below the island so you wouldn't see it. And what I was originally going to do was I was wanting to have a separate landscape probably to the side here where I could put these bigger events like this Thunderjaw, and what I could do is I could teleport the player to that whole separate area. And games like Horizon Forbidden West does this with a lot of the interior spaces. They go somewhere else to the side, and it's kind of common practice for, designers to basically separate things out so, you don't have spaces running into one another. So it's kind of one of those things where I definitely feel like it would be kind of interesting to play around and try to learn that aspect. But I don't know, as far as like the landscape goes, I've been trying to create additional landscapes, and I've been trying to use these types of brushes here, and this is something that we might go into a little bit more detail later, maybe even this video, because I want to kind of rearrange and I want to kind of do something different. If you notice in the previous videos, we had just tons of small little mountains, you know, over here, and I really felt that it didn't look very good. So one of the things I want to accomplish is I'd like to kind of have a more natural buildup and have a bigger singular mountain or volcano. I think I like the volcano idea in this area, and make it, you know, look a lot more natural. And I do kind of want to keep a lot of this area around here relatively flat, so there's not much going on. You know, I might keep, you know, it's not gonna be a lot like this. I think this is gonna be kind of one place, but you know, I'm not opposed to, you know, going through here a little bit more with a fine-tooth comb and sculpting out things a little bit more better and a lot less randomly. But that's kind of something that I want to work on more. We have, you know, weird little cliffs like this in the terrain, and we have little holes like this that I'm not particularly a fan of. So that's something that I do want to tackle later. But I just don't know. I've been having a lot of issues with the landscape system today, so we'll take a look at it and we'll see what happens. So we can start off by going to let's just see if we can just you know, play around with this. So this I wanted to organize the landscape a little bit more as well. So you notice that we have two layers right here, and you see that we can toggle each layer on and off, and it will, you know, be the different stuff. So we can like toggle these off. So if we go in here and select this, I have some documentation too that I want to try to kind of look at. But we have a fall off enabled here, and we have a fall off width. I really want to tune that down because I really don't like how bubbly this is. I might even make that 0 and see what that does. No. It's not doing anything. Okay, so we have like the angle here. I don't even necessarily think that's too bad. And I might kind of play and get a sense of the scale. Yeah, I don't even necessarily hate that. So I think a lot of this is just kind of playing it by ear. We kind of have some areas here where we can kind of fine-tune this a little bit more. I do like how this, you know, tends to blend. So what we could do is kind of keep it relatively like that, I guess. I don't know. Whoa. Angle. Yeah, that's what we don't want. width, though, is just not doing anything. The fall off slope is... let me try like 400 and just see what that does. Okay. I don't think it actually does anything. I'm trying to get a good sense of what a lot of these are doing. Okay, so this is just making it either like bigger or smaller, I'm guessing. That's fun. And we have this, which was at 200, and I kind of liked that. I thought that was not a bad place. We also have some other different ones here, so but I think the fall off really is kind of the bigger thing. So what I want to do now is I want to try to, and we can even move around some of these points. So if we want to really expand this, we can. I don't like how that looks though. And then this is gonna just be what this is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually create a new layer. And I'm gonna call this Volcano. I'm gonna try, oh, actually I need to rename. The Volcano. And I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna save all, so in case everything crashes and the terrain disappears, because it's happened several times today, and it's not a fun experience, I can just jump back in. So let me go and a lot of this, a lot of these tools you actually have to use a plugin. So and this is something that I might make a bigger video to kind of show you how to do this from a whole new project. But basically, if you go to like your settings right above where your like outliner is, and there's like a plugins button. But there's two plugins that you would need in order to do this. But first one, you'd want to go to Landmass and enable the Landmass plugin. And then there's also water. And then this, you would want to enable this to have all of the water available. Excuse me. So those are the two plugins that you would need in order to be able to have all of this. So with the Volcano, you would want to go to Blueprint, and it's very important if you don't see this Blueprint option in your sculpt. On the landscape itself, and this is something that you can set when you create the landscape object itself, but there's an option called Enable Edit Layers, and in the outliner above my camera here, you see that the option's right here. So in order to have the blueprint option available, you want to make sure that enable edit layers is selected. And then once you select that, you'll be able to go into the blueprint, and if you have the Landmass plugin installed, what you can do is you can go to the blueprint brush here, and then you'll want to hit custom brush Landmass. And what that will do is that will create, if you just click somewhere, then that will create the blueprint brush for this layer, Volcano, and you can see that you can change it and whatnot. So what we want to do is we're going to go into here, and there's different options that we can use. So there's a brush type, and then there's a blend mode. And for the Volcano, I want to do a max. I don't know if it's going to do that, or an additive. Let's see, mass. Okay, it doesn't do that, but we should maybe be able to make that, yeah, tall like that. So one of the things that we will want to do is we can make this even taller. But what I want to do is I want to start to kind of just start shaping this. And what we can do is we can select the individual points here. So if we select the end one here, let's see, hold down Alt and click and drag, and we can create multiple points. So I'm just going to create kind of a simple little shape here. Again, this might look a bit weird because we still have yet to assign like different settings and whatnot. But let me kind of really try to get a good sense of how big this is gonna be, and like where I want all of the different sides to go. And like this here, I might just make that kind of circle in there a bit. I'll just create some more points. And we do have some height differences. You know, that tends to happen, I think, every now and again. But what we could do is we could just select, we should be able to select the different points. Just kind of edit the height a little bit, and it might not be too bad to have some differences in height. We can definitely play around with that though. And you know, we have like little handlebars here that we should be able to kind of, I guess not. Okay, so we have this kind of going here. I don't know, I might even pull this back a little bit more. That looks to be pretty good. I'll just kind of keep it relatively simple. I'm gonna try to keep things relatively on the same, you know, height starting out. I might have to move around. No, can't select that one for some odd reason. Okay. So I'm gonna just play around with some of the things here. So let me see. Blend modes, alpha blend. So I want to kind of get a feeling for oh my god, that paused and I thought my whole computer crashed. Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. But anyway, let me take kind of a look at some of these settings that I have. Spline mesh, effects. I got the blurring on. Okay, so I want to kind of play around with, you know, some of this. Ooh, I kind of like that shape. No, not that shape. I like that shape. That shape I really like a lot. And just play around with what, you know, looks good and set some randomness to it. Curl 1, tiling. Ooh, that looks really nice. I do like that. And again, I can really play around with the height. Make it, you know, as tall as possible. And I could go in and probably... Yeah, I really like this right here. I think that this looks really good. Ooh. That looks pretty good. I do like that a lot. That's kind of like a little circular. Yeah, I feel like this is so much more better. I'm just going to play around with some stuff. And again, I'm going to go ahead and just keep saving. And just kind of go back to all of my different... brushes here and just just see what I've done. So like here, I didn't mess with the, like some smooth. Okay, so there's some displacement stuff on this one. There's none here, and then there's none here. So I might just do some displacement and just see what happens. The displacement on that first layer was at 1500 though, so... Oh yeah, that is... I like the look of that a lot more, but I might even improve it more. Yeah, I don't like that. I want it to make it... I want to try to make it look like a much more bigger... mountain. I do like that. I like how it does blend a lot more better. I might even play around with how tall it is. I really do like the look of it. I don't know. I really feel like I could have it be bigger. But now it's kind of going into like mountain range, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Do like that there. And there's kind of a build up. Yeah, and this isn't too bad. I might even kind of bring that in a bit. I don't mind that. I think that looks pretty good. And you can like affect the tiling of things too. I really like what's going on here. I don't know, it just looks maybe a bit... wow, and that really goes up. Ooh, yeah, that is really opposing. I really like how that looks. Yeah, I might make this a little bit more I'm not hating it, for sure. I really feel like that is a good looking mountain. I'll go back. I don't know if we really want to... we have like a fall off, but... I don't know how big we might want this to be. But I kind of want to have a very opposing, you know, just mountain or something that can act as like a very central point. I really think it was pretty good where it was. But I don't know. I just feel like it needs to be bigger. And what we could do is we can just really make it much more massive in size. And then we can move it back a bit too. So again, this is a pretty trial and error process. We just want to make sure that it makes sense. The scale is good. I really want to have this act as like a very decent just landmark that we can really look towards. Yeah, I mean, I think that is a pretty good... that's a pretty good height for it. Let me see if I can just select it and then move it. And we can actually have it go off the thing there. And if we want to kind of fine-tune this area a bit, kind of like, oh, actually no, I like really, can I not? Oh boy, okay. Oh no. Hopefully I didn't mess everything up. Okay. I think that's pretty good. My fingers are falling asleep. I think I'm doing, I don't know. So I think I'm gonna just, again, I'm gonna go in here and I'm really gonna try to just fine tune this mountain. Again, I kind of want it to be a bit opposing. I really do like the size of that. It really could be, you know, something to see from anywhere on the island. And then we'll go down to the curl noise, play around with that. And again, we can always kind of adjust this more and more. I do like that quite a bit. And it doesn't look too, like, you probably wouldn't be able to just climb up this. But it doesn't look too bad. You know, it has some areas where it's going to be kind of hard to go in and do that. But I don't know, I just... And I'm just looking at the topography and what I can play around with. So like I like stuff like this where there's a little piece of land here that maybe would have something. I just want it to make it really as unique as possible. We can go down here into displacement and just well, I don't like that. I don't like that either. And you really should go around and just check all of the other sides to it and whatnot. And again, we probably, you know, this is probably going to change over time. I don't necessarily expect things to happen, you know, right out of the gate, but I've got some smoothing. I don't know if this is just smoothing for the, there's like 0 smoothing. We'll just keep those at 0. And there's terracing. Did I do anything with terracing? I think I did. 4096. Okay, I don't know if I did or not. Whoa. Oh, okay. So it like terraces it terraces stuff. Which, you know, I'm not even entirely opposed to. I think that, yeah, I mean, I think that's too much terracing for sure, but wait, did I do something? Okay, I don't know. I'm kind of... I'm not really too opposed to that. And it probably isn't necessarily... I mean, it doesn't really look like a volcano, I guess. So maybe I do want to keep the terracing down as much as possible. Collision. I think we want to enable that. Yeah. So we don't want to be able to shoot through the volcano. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much all there is to do with that mountain. I think that looks much better than what we had. Again, I don't know if we necessarily want to have... Yeah, I don't really think I want to have something like that. But we could, you know, play around with something a little bit like that around... kind of make a better transition, but I want to just be careful and make sure that we have plenty of kind of, you know, flat space, and we can always go in later and fine tune and sculpt different things as well, because it's probably going to be a lot more easier to transition from here to there if, you know, both of them are kind of relatively, you know, flat and whatnot. And again, we might play around with some height difference. So we can even go in here and maybe select, maybe. So we're gonna like select this and maybe we can have this come down a bit. Have this come down a bit. Come down a bit. Just play around with, you know, play around with that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that looks much better though. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and just work more on the village itself. We have a really good start on the village again. I want to really try to add in some more detail for it. So I might just go in and just take some time to go into modeling and just model some stuff. But yeah, I'm very excited about where this level's going. So let me go ahead, and I have reference to my my stuff here. And we might even, and what I might even do is I might even go in here and kind of start building out the inside of this this like building here. So I think that this is going to be pretty good place to kind of start as like inspiration. So I'm going to go into here and I'm just going to create a box. A complete. I'm going to go into poly edit. And I'm going to insert some stuff in here. So I'm just going to insert an edge loop there and edge loop there. And actually, I don't know if I want to have a cube. I actually might start out with a disk. I hit complete. Go to poly edit. And actually, I'm gonna scale this out. And I should probably get this to be as centered as possible. And then what I'm gonna do is on poly edit, what in the world am I doing? I have no idea what I don't have any idea. Let me select that though, and then I'll go back into modeling, and then I'll hit this. Oh, poly. Okay, that's what I want to do. So I want to select that face, and I want to. I'm just going to bring this out here. I'm gonna extrude it again. I'm gonna just have that go up there. I'm just gonna hit extrude. Extrude again. Whoa. I'm just gonna make like a small little kitchen area. And in the actual game, this is where you would have you know, different things going. I don't know if I wanted that. I might really extrude this out and have this be. Whoa, what am I doing? Extrude this out just a bit. Probably make this a little bit more bigger. Extrude out a little bit more. Whoa. Make this a little bit more bigger. Just create like a little chimney or something that things would be going out of, I guess. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and insert a edge loop here. I'm gonna hit accept just to save whatever process. I'm just gonna see what happens if I extrude this back. Okay, it doesn't look like it's gonna be too bad. And I might go in and just try to maybe this could be an oven or something that they use. So that's gonna be just something that we're gonna create. Another thing that I want to include is gonna be some of these arches. So I'm just gonna duplicate this. I might have to make these. I have to make this much smaller, which is fine. I can play around with that. But let me actually, yeah, let me make it smaller. I think it's not too bad. And the goal should probably be to kind of surround this. So I'm wondering if, yeah, probably just like that, duplicate it. And we don't have to completely encircle it, but I do want to incorporate these archways quite a bit. I think they're a very iconic kind of architecture element for the Oseram, for sure. So we'll kind of place maybe something like right there. And then what we can do is just, we can just kind of add a box. That will act as just kind of more of a wall, I guess. And we don't have to necessarily be scared to make this look a little bit more makeshift. I feel like, you know, that's kind of something that is something that the Oseram really kind of play around with. But playing with a lot of like different angles and stuff as well. we can accept that. I don't know, like, I want to place a lot more, like, support beams, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and just make this much more higher. I'll hit accept though, and I'll just make it sized better. I'll just play around with the sizing of it. Make it look like more of a actual poster or something. And again, we can really go in and actually, if we edit that, yeah, it's going to edit that one as well. That's not what we necessarily want. So you have to be careful about that, which sucks. I wish there was a way to turn that off. Or like, I don't know, I never really was a huge fan of how that is kind of handled, but I think that's fine. And what we could do is we can kind of actually just create like a sectioned off wall here. So let me do that. Let me just do that, and then move that there, and then I will poly edit, and then I'll go ahead and I will just make that kind of another pillar. But with this, I might use this though for this height. Again, I just want to create some additional just support beams that look like they kind of just put these in to more support these arches, if that makes sense. So I got that going. Doesn't look too bad, I guess. But I don't know, we just kind of fine-tune these a bit. Another support beam. One of the things I want to do as well, and I'm going to save it just to, you know, make sure I don't lose any progress, but I want to really play around more with kind of this out here. So one of the things that I think would really not be too bad is if I created some sort of like cloth. So let me just do that. I'll go into poly edit, and actually let me cancel, and I'll just kind of make this something that whoa, okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'll just make it like big like that. Oh boy. This is polygraph is okay. what I'm gonna do is, instead of using a plane like that, I'm gonna go ahead and use a box. And you'll see why. Because I couldn't control anything on that. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Poly Edit. I'm gonna make this very, very, very small. And at least with this, if I hit accept, I should be able to move this. Create like more of a better cloth object with this, I feel like. So again, this, I don't like how this looks. But, what I can do is poly edit this, make this go down a bit more, where it doesn't overlay so much. I'm going to hit accept, but I am going to, actually, I'm just going to move this over here instead. I'll place that there, and then with this, I'm going to go into here, and I'm just going to select this face, and I'm just going to drag that there. I'm going to rotate it, make it look probably a little bit sketch, but I think I have a good idea of brewing. So I'm just going to go and select this right here, and then I'm just going to go down, just make a little cloth thing. And what I can even do to make it look a little bit more interesting is I can actually insert like an edge loop here, and then if I want to really play around with this, I can. Maybe. And like either kind of have it go down or go up. I like it to look like it's cloth though, so we could do that and hit accept. And this, what we can do is we can duplicate this, make it go a bit. Again, it probably isn't gonna be super great, but it's a kind of nice way to, you know, incorporate that. And we can even do it again. And maybe even make it a little bit more smaller, maybe. But have it just kind of go over a little bit to make it a little bit more interesting. We can like turn it to world space and make it look. And we can even maybe raise it up a bit if we wanted to. Oh, that we can add in some smaller little pillars. So we can just fine-tune stuff like that, you know, make it look a little bit more nicer. And we can even make these a little bit more like two. Whoa. Yeah, we can fine tune it, make sure that it looks decent. Again, this might be a little bit too much detail for like what a level designer would do, but I don't know, I kind of like going in and putting a little bit more detail on my levels and get it to look interesting. And then we can go in and also, well, we'll want to make some new ones, so let's go ahead and do that. This is probably going to be a lot more like skinnier, so we can just pull that, and then we go into here, pull that up. Oh, we can actually make this pretty skinny. Because I want to kind of give off the, I want to sell the idea that they just kind of have giant, you know, pegs and nails and they're just propping everything up. You know, they don't have access to a lot of different, you know, tools, so. And we might have to make this a little bit more taller. I think it will look pretty good. I'll just copy that. So yeah, we have, you know, we have some stuff going for the kind of kitchen area here. And we can even, you know, move this around if we want to. I kind of like the idea of really adding more like little pipes and stuff to this and making it look a lot more complex. But yeah, I think that's kind of a good stopping point for the video. I might work a lot more on adding some details next episode. And yeah, I want to start uploading a lot more. I apologize if, you know, you are waiting on the next videos. Yeah, I'm really terrible at falling behind. So yeah, I just need to get in a better habit of uploading more frequently. But I would like to, you know, make this, continue making this level as a series. And also, I want to kind of get back into that Unity top-down level. You know, I got quite a bit of views on that, so maybe that would be a pretty good, you know, time investment to grow the channel and to, you know, do all that. And again, that's a level that I want to make. You know, I want to keep working with Unity because Pro Builder is a little bit more different than the modeling tools. Even, you know, using the geometry tools in Unreal Engine. So that's something that, you know, I should kind of be a little bit more mindful about. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode, feel free to subscribe for future content. And if you have any feedback or any questions, or if you want to know how I did something, feel free to leave a comment below. I could also do just a giant tutorial on how to do a lot of the landscape stuff here. I kind of showed you quite a bit about how to use you know, the brush itself this episode, making the mountain. So that is going to be kind of a good kind of thing to get from this video. But I don't know, I really want to do a little bit more of a deep dive. So yeah, that's something that I hope to kind of keep you guys updated about. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.